Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of our Icenia Rises campaign. Of course, we are now the great and glorious nation of Albion, and we are fighting the Bohemians? Yes, that is right. The nation of Albion, have come all the way down to Czechoslovakia, and we are fighting the Bohemians. Also, these people, and also for some reason, the Barbarians way over here. We had to leave a couple armies, these 16,000 men, these 19,000 men, over in the western part of our mainland holdings, just to make sure that no armies from Bitergia do come over. I'm not necessarily trying to go and take their lands. Instead, I'm going to try to push through all of Bohemia and then probably down into the Tarusians, or Tauriskians, I'm going to call them that, the Tauriskians, and hopefully just eat some more land here. Also open up the avenue for colonization all the way down to Scythia. Yes, that's right, a very, very long Albion campaign indeed. In fact, I would love to fight Scythia at some point. We'll see what happens though. First things first, and this is often easier said than done with some of these migratory tribes, or some of these, like, these relatively loosely federated tribes, because they tend to just be able to pump out men after men, army after army, because after all, they have those like rival clan chiefs and all the different clan armies, and so they're not necessarily limited to the same kind of manpower constraints, because a lot of their manpower does not directly come from their leader or from, their central armies. Of course, are the Bohemians, they are a migratory tribe, so who knows, they might just send army after army at us, but for now, we are looking pretty good in the war. If we had to, we could of course build more armies. We have a huge amount of manpower, plus we get about 1,230 manpower per month, so we're in good shape. We have some disloyal armies as well, but we have people in the stationed to handle that, and I think we'll be just fine. So here's one of my disloyal armies, and in fact they actually appear to be coming and are going to help us in this war. So in the meantime, let us keep on keeping on. Looks like we are going to take a fight here, so I'm going to go ahead and move some men in that direction. As soon as these 20,000 men get movement locked, I'll move those 15,000 men in as well. We've taken this city. I'll go ahead and just keep the advancing armies moving onward. They are kind of hemmed in. We've built a ring of fortifications to keep them from pushing into our territory. So I'm not necessarily worried if an army gets behind me, it's not going to be able to go very far. I'm going to move you on this way. Looks like we probably don't even need these extra 15,000 men, because we are just going to tear through their army with the manpower we had. And indeed, yes, we are victorious. We did lose about 5,000 troops. We just had a lot more men to handle them. We have, unfortunately, it started out as a good strategy, and I think it is a good strategy, but we've focused mostly on light infantry here recently, just because they don't take near as much attrition, and we've really struggled with attrition. We'll hire you. Maybe that'll make your family a little bit more loyal. But we've struggled mightily with attrition with some of the heavier infantry, so we unfortunately don't have the heaviest armies, which could be a problem down the line, especially if these wars go on for quite some time. With the light infantry, we do kind of need to win in a hurry. I might go ahead and build. No, I'm not. But let's go ahead and move this army of 15,000 men a little bit closer. We don't need them where they are. Looks like a city has come of age. It's now going to produce cloth. That's good. We're going to keep sending more slaves into, I guess, Venta. They have a fortress here, so I'll go ahead and grab that. No, I can't buy those mercenaries. I'm not above hiring some mercenaries. I'm actually very happy to do so. Let's go ahead and relieve this siege. Let's have you just heal up. 10,000 men reduced down to just 2,000. So we'll have you just kind of heal up. I would like not a super heavy army. How about you to take down that siege. We'll move you in here. We'll leave those 15,000 men just to sit around, act as reinforcing armies. We'll move you down to here. Looks like we're going to win a battle. Where is that? Perfect. We only lost 800 men. They lost 4,300. And we've taken some prisoners. Let's go ahead and just keep on moving down the line. You can come here. This fort should hopefully fall pretty quickly. We don't have quite the siege technology that I wish we had. So we're not just going to cut through their fortifications, but we're in decent shape. I'm actually just going to move you there, just in case we need you to reinforce any nearby armies. These 9,000 men are going to take some more land. Take more slaves. Alright, here we go. Interesting, interesting. So, we seem to be in a bind for the moment. Let's go ahead and start pouring some troops in. Just wait a little longer. Uh-oh. Someone's going to be very displeased if we don't give her a job. Well, we don't really have any jobs, and she's not great. She's just a... I'm not too worried about her. Let's go ahead and trade away some base metals. I'm fine with that. Looks like we're going to lose some fights. Although they're going to take a river crossing penalty. If I move in there... Oh, it's because this army was being taken into effect. But if I can hold this army... So let's actually move these 2,000 troops there just to hold the line a little bit longer. I'm moving lots. About 30,000 troops that way. Oh my gosh, we are taking horrific casualties. Oh my goodness, what is happening? They must have... Oh, so they had a tactics advantage, we had a tactics disadvantage. Oh my goodness. So many soldiers lost. So many soldiers lost. We are defeated, and that was a horrifically terrible battle. We lost 12,000 men, they lost 3,000. That is unsustainable. And unfortunately now they're movement locked as well. Let's move you this way though. You can keep going where you're going. They at least win. Is it from the river crossing? We're at least, I think, going to win up in the north, but that was a horrifically costly battle. Are these 15,000 men going to get there to reinforce? No, and we've lost a complete army stack, completely wiped. Unfortunate there, unfortunate. Our armies just melt away. We have to figure out a better way to fight. We have to figure out our traditions or something, because we are absolutely getting demolished on the battlefield. And our heavy infantry should not be. We are, after all, the great and glorious Albions. We don't want to lose these fights like we have been. It does say we're going to win this one. Obviously, we have more men to contend with. We are not necessarily worried about taking horrible losses. Alright, let's go ahead and just buy some of these inventions. I think they're going to be very useful. The discipline is going to be a huge game changer, hopefully, as well as maybe the assault ability. And since I think I'm going to go on a fort building spree to just defend my frontier, I'm going to go ahead and... I'm going to hold off on the fort defenses for now. Good, we got a stack wipe. We needed that victory. And we're going to win here as well. Either way, though, no matter how you slice it, we took more casualties there than we would have liked. We're paying him back for it now, though. It would be nice to go ahead and take this fort, have it fall. Our disloyal army, he is a pretender. He's going to come in and help us out. That's good, I guess. I certainly won't complain. This army of 0 men, I'm just going to go ahead and disband it. Not waste my manpower reserves reinforcing that army. that really won't help me too much down the line. We'll move you there. You can go there just to take the land, maybe take some slaves. We'll see. And there's only 8 pops in that city, or in that territory, that is. Took some slaves here. Perfect. I think I'm just going to keep the pressure on, keep advancing. Yeah, she's just a friend of a general. I don't care if she's displeased. Those 36,000 men are going to, it looks, help siege down some territory. Good, good. We're going to take some more slaves. Good. Go ahead and trade away some more trinkets. Oop. Well, uh-oh, we're about to fight another fight. Can I retreat out of that? No. So, unfortunately, we are just going to fight this. If we can win in a hurry, we'll be in good shape. We have another 15,000 men coming in. We seem, because we're the defender, that's helping us out a lot. They are being reinforced as well. They're going to get reinforced before they are able to win the fight. But, oh, we got to change our tactics a little bit, because this shock action just is not doing us any favors. They are countering that in every single fight we've had. We just need to probably change that a little bit. Let's go ahead and move these 15,000 men closer to the front, as well as these 15,000 men closer to the front. We're going to win another fight. We need to take that fort. Come on, we have a 42% chance this time. That should help. Plus, our siege accumulation has to be getting better. I'm all for this army not suiciding itself, but it's an army. The 8th Warband is a disloyal army headed by a disloyal pretender. So, if it can be weakened a little bit, I'm not necessarily upset about that. We have won the siege of Boyoa. Let's just briefly come back here, make sure that there's no armies here, and you know what? There actually is. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch you over to defend borders. Good. You're going to go and attack that smaller army. Perfect. We finally took the fort, so that means our armies can once again properly advance. Let us keep pushing southward. Ooh, damnation, the neglected. Utterly tired of waiting for her promised role in governor, she has been quietly whispering in the ear of one of our closest confidants. Has been wooed by the venomous words, and now both these traitors' curs are spreading rumors about our lack of integrity. We should have acted sooner. Okay, well this is honestly, I will admit, the first time I've ever let this event play out. Normally I try to get them a job fairly quickly. So what's happening? We lose 15 loyalty in our court philosopher. Not great, but okay. And we gain a rival. So all in all, not great, but also not super worried about it as of yet. I'm much more worried about this war at the moment, which we are doing decently. We'll go ahead and accept that offer. And we'll press that unpause button, just keep this war going. Looks like these unloyal cohorts are showing some true loyalty, and they are taking on a relatively large army. We're going to gain... Oh, that's that pretender. The disloyal pretender is going to gain the confident trait, which is, I guess, fine. He took a lot of casualties, but he also killed a bunch of their men, and he did win the fight, which is going to help our war score in the end, of course. We're going to continue to just move across their territory. We're in really good shape. What I want is to take as much of the Bohemian land as possible. I know that that might be difficult to actually come all the way to get this specific territory, because it is what opens us up to being able to colonize once again. And colonizing, while it's not the most entertaining of mechanics, it is definitely one of the easiest ways to expand your borders. And hey, at this point we're seeing how wide we can make Albion. Can we make Albion stretch the globe? Who knows? But we are definitely fighting a lot more wars going east than we are fighting wars going south. We have not had to interact with the Romans yet, which has been good. Don't necessarily know how I feel about interacting or attacking such a advanced and civilized society. After all, we are fighting most... Honestly, it would probably be easier. They don't tend to just have spam as quite as many, just stacks and waves of soldiers at you. Of course, then again, they can hire mercenaries, and yeah, it's not easy. Although, honestly, the game's not super hard, as you can tell by the fact that we have just, you know, conquered a lot. It was pretty difficult at the start, just like having to play the game, the politicking game, to take southern... First we started out by consolidating Icenia, taking a couple extra cities. Then we actually were able to take a large chunk in the north and middle of the country, and then we came in, took down the south, and then at that point it was no one stopping us. We were the most powerful, I'm going to say, barbarian nation on Earth at that point. And we're able to, you know, expand, colonize, take over all of Great Britain, as well as Ireland, change into Albion, and then, of course, move to the mainland. I do think I'm going to see if I can get peace. Peace in our time. And I specifically want... This peace deal works for me right here, because I'm trying to make it to the open area for colonization. Let's see what else we can maybe get in the process, though. They seem to be willing to give me quite a bit. Oops. Let's try this again. Sorry, I misclicked. Alright, so at this point, we could take everything that we have conquered it so far. I think that is just going to be fine and dandy for this war. Congratulations! We're going to go ahead and gain a ton of aggressive expansion, but now we're going to lose just a little bit of it. So we're going to be just sitting here letting our aggressive expansion tick down for quite a while. That hurts our loyalty of subject states. It hurts our wrong culture group happiness by quite a bit. So we are going to have some kind of management to take care of in the time being. We might have to assign some armies to governors. In the meantime, though, let's go ahead and just move some of our troops back a little ways. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these mercenaries. We don't necessarily need them anymore. We're making quite a ton of gold. Let's go ahead and hire some governors as well. I want to make sure they're nice and loyal, but also have a decent finesse. You look good. You get local slave output for local slave happiness. I'll go ahead and hire you. Is that going to make you more loyal? Yes, indeed. Good. And let's go ahead and get some of our Black Flag armies out. Actually, we can't. Let's make sure that no one is sitting... I'm going to leave some armies over in this side of the continent, but let's go ahead and make sure that no one is sitting and just taking attrition. So we'll move those two armies back there. You are already going back. I guess we can go ahead and hit that unpause button. You can come back to here. Ooh, what's this? Daughter of the governor can get 1,200 gold, becomes friends with the emperor. Someone else makes a good cause, or... Well, here we just gain 5 popularity. We're already very popular. Let's do primary heir, or uncle of the primary heir. Isn't the uncle of the primary heir just my brother? Or I guess my brother-in-law? Well, let's do my brother-in-law. He'll get some gold and become my friend. It's always good to have lots of friends, both in the real world as in Imperator Rome, I guess. We'll just keep trading away. We'll also, I think, need to look at purchasing some more armies. At this point, I feel good about where our armies are, but I also know that I need to expand the number of armies I have, just because this is a lot of territory to defend. And I'm not saying I don't have a lot of men, but it's just a lot of territory to defend. And I am gaining, you know, 11,000 manpower per month. That is not terrible in the slightest. Let's go ahead and trade away some cloth, get some research points. Trade away some livestock. We'll also do some grain. Let's see where our food supplies are low right here, but we're actually gaining. You two are still black flag, but you're heading back in the proper direction. And now I'll move you. Before I think I'm going to leave those armies where they are. Let's go ahead and just take a look at some of the governor policies you've chosen. I think I actually would do local autonomy. Let's go ahead and just increase their happiness for a little while. They seem fairly... Actually, you're not super unhappy. Looks like we could have some military restructuring. You are pretty loyal, but let's see. You're gaining loyalty per month. We can place our trust in him. Morale of armies will go up. I always like morale of armies going up. Or he could lose. We'll have him gain some loyalty. That's fine. We also... I won't necessarily do this. I may actually pause the game between episodes and do this while the game's paused, but I will move a bunch of Iceni slaves all the way across of our population and colonize as much land as I can. Maybe before the start of the next episode. I would love to be able to just take all of this territory. You know, maybe not necessarily all in one scoop, but very quickly. We'll trade. Look at all these trade goods we have. Our manpower is still going down every month. I have a feeling that's because of the attrition. Also, yeah, we lose them all from attrition. We need just about 7,000 men to completely reinforce our armies. It would be nice if we could sit at peace for a little while, honestly, and just gain some manpower back. And I'm talking like gain upwards of like 200,000 manpower. We've just taken a lot. Oh! Slaves are revolting. The rebellion will be crushed. Where are they revolting? That is the real question. Up here. Okay. There are 2 slaves. Problem is, are there any armies nearby to stop it? Honestly, the army that can get there fastest might be the one in London right now. So let's sail these ships to London, put these 16,000 men on the ship, and go and hopefully land them in Ligurium before too many slaves join this revolt. We can get a new omen. I think I'm going to stick it out with national citizen output. That's kind of been the theme of the episode, or of the campaign by far. Although monthly civilization change, I have a lot of territory that would benefit from that. Technologically, we make a lot of research points. We finally have enough citizens to where we actually lost that little alert that's like, hey, you've got a bad citizen ratio. It's still not a great citizen ratio. But, actually, let's look. Yeah, I mean, at this point, only 509 of my pops are citizens, whereas 2,436 are slaves. We gotta build some more libraries, y'all. I think I'm gonna go ahead and in this case do manpower recovery speed. I'm gonna do manpower recovery speed. That helped a little bit, I guess. Making 1,500 back per month. Of course, I'm losing a bunch of men per month just because they're walking through such a low supply area. Although this is where increasing that civilization value would have helped. Okay, so I may decide to, next omen, increase civilization value. Have that going up per month. Yeah, because 0.03 is not exactly a lot. Yeah, so I think in my next, with my next invention, I'm going to do the increased civilization value. Let's go ahead and move this fleet to take care of this slave revolt. They only have 2,000 slaves. I am not concerned about that at all. We are in a very good position. I will, let's see. I'll have to cross a major river crossing, but I'm not worried about that. We have a death, a notable death. Oh, is this the governor of Caledonia? Yes, it is. Let's go ahead and hire you. Ooh, local civilization level. All right, sure. Yeah, so I actually should maybe think about... I'm actually going to change some governor policies here. Let's do civilization effect. It's going to help a little bit. Let's do it here as well. And then in the province of Icenia, real quick, since we have the political influence, I'm going to go ahead and just install provincial procurators. That's going to just make our pops a little bit more efficient. Uh-oh. The fall of Mediolanum Belgicum to rebel slaves has sent shockwaves through our society. The slaves have sent a messenger asking that we allow them to settle as free men in the area, and we promise them amnesty. Without a doubt, giving in to such demands would be seen as an affront to all slave owners in Albion. But it may be the quickest way to end the conflict. No, we will not negotiate. Never. Or we could just give in. We'd lose 250 gold. No, we will not negotiate. So let's see. Maybe we should think more about... Oh no, they've completely... I don't care. I don't care if... But this is dangerous if they do start taking more of my provinces. So we need to deal with this army ASAP. You're gonna get some manpower back. That's good. We should be able to win this fight. They have no commander. But yeah, we definitely want to deal with this army ASAP because they might have more pops, more slaves added to this army by the time even these 16,000 troops get here. This could actually spiral out of control fairly quickly, but no, we are going to... Yep, we will not negotiate with slaves. They're going to get a slightly bigger army, but alas, we're going to attack, and I think easily handle them. Put down this quick slave revolt, and put it down quite simply and easily. Slave revolt defeated. We must make an example of them, or we can show them some leniency. I'm going to go ahead and show them some leniency. Let's have the slave happiness not just deteriorate. And then can I colonize this? Yeah, unfortunately, I will go ahead and do that. Maybe move that army back to this port. Seems to be in a decent spot for it to respond to conflict. So I'm still actually losing... Why am I losing more men to attrition? Is it because of you? Aren't you a disloyal army? It's unfortunate. Attrition is such a killer in these low civilization value areas. I really do need to pump the civilization value there. I know it's going to make my tribesmen upset and unhappy, but Of course, I also, in some of these places, need to be changing the culture a little bit. Like up here, I think I'm going to go ahead and go to cultural assimilation. And unfortunately, I'm out of political influence, so I can't do anything else as far as changing governor policies. I can hope that once this army reaches wherever it's going, it will stop taking attrition, and therefore my manpower will start ticking upwards again. Definitely want that to happen. I'm tired of it being in the negative. Although I'm actually gaining manpower, so because this is disloyal, I actually don't think that I was. So this whole army was disloyal, but only a couple of these troops are actually loyal directly to the general, which is why I was taking attrition on the entire army. I shouldn't have to take. No, I don't pay for them. Let's go ahead and trade away some vegetables. We're finally ticking up our manpower relatively quickly. I mean, 1,500 men per month is actually great, so not super worried about building a strong army. I do think I'm going to let it get a little bit closer to 200,000, though, before I actually go to war again. I think and as I said, between this episode and the next episode, I think I will try to expand via colonization as much as I can. I don't see a reason to record that. I'll take the stability, sure. I don't see a reason to record that just because how much fun is it to watch a person move slaves just across the empire, clicking the same button over and over and over and over again, to slowly see our borders expand. So hopefully before the next episode our borders will have expanded by quite a bit. We'll see if I get around to that or not. I might wait an episode or two, but we'll try it. I do think I'm going to go on a fort building spree, though. I think just having a bunch of forts, especially if there haven't been buildings built somewhere yet. Man, they have built a bunch of buildings here, but let's actually take a look at this building. That's a tribal settlement. It gives tribesmen output up. I'm okay to get rid of that because I'm eventually going to try to get rid of all those tribesmen, and I'm going to go ahead and just build a fortress there. And I think I will build a fortress here as well, although that actually is a farming settlement because we're producing vegetables. That I might leave. Do I build a fort here? Let's get that out of here and let's build a fort. And then another fort here. I'm doing that because I think that should prevent them from being able, if I were to go to war with any of these nations, prevent them from being able to pass through the fort line. I guess I'll have to build one up here as well, which isn't necessarily bad. This is going to cost me a lot of money to maintain, although, I mean, look at how much money I'm making. I'm not necessarily worried about all that money, so and trade some livestock away. Cool, cool. Yeah, so I'm not necessarily worried about spending a little bit more in fort maintenance. I think it's useful to have a nice line of forts. Also, it just helps the forts lock down the territory that, just in case of a rebellion or something, locking down the territory is hardly a bad thing. I should probably build some forts up here on the border with these Germanic provinces as well. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, this province is disloyal. Alright, so it's disloyal and it's trending negatively. Alright, so it's because I have a lot of people who are unhappy, so let's go to local autonomy. That changes things a little bit. We'll have to see if we can make that a little change why it is being disloyal. And we'll go ahead and hire you as a governor, although you don't have great governor effects. What about you? We'll hire you as a governor. Your loyalty's ticking down, unfortunately. I'll build a fort here. Yeah, I'm just kind of expanding my ring of fortifications. I feel like that is a admirable thing to do, especially since I just have so much money at this point. It also wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea to look at my cities and go on a library spending spree. Oh, the province would lose 66 loyalty, or the province loses 33 loyalty, currently 100, and I gain 10 corruption. I'm going to do that one. We can gain some popularity, but lose some loyalty from a general, or lose 5 popularity. I'll lose 5 popularity. That's fine. We have a new chancellor. He's going to help my aggressive expansion tick down, so I want someone decent. You are a little bit more loyal. I'll go with you. And last thing before I wrap up this episode, let's check, how about aggressive expansion impact down 5%? That's going to help any other inventions that I might want to get. Monthly war exhaustion. No, I think that's enough for now. So I am going to wrap it up here. Oh, what's this? Disloyal provinces. Yeah, I do have one disloyal province. Right over here. So that is where I'm going to have to wrap it up for today. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. We did finish up a war, and we have kind of planned our next avenue of expansion, hint, hint, into the open wasteland of the steppes. And eventually I do plan on invading the rest of Gaul, especially trying to take kind of the northern Brittany. But that will have to be left for another day. Albion has grown again today. I'll go ahead and zoom out a little farther so we don't have those armies in the way. You can see that we, at this point, have just about one of the largest countries in... We are, I guess, the largest country in Europe. We have one of the largest countries in the world. We are incredibly powerful. We're gaining our manpower back very quickly. Once we get, I don't know, I think closer to 200,000, I'll look to continue to expand. That shouldn't be too long, considering we gain 1,500 men per month. Anyway, I have been Ben the Bold. You have been you. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, hit that like button, and I will see you on the next one.